So for us, it's the freedom that we have here. So everybody has a job to do, but we want people to come in and have fun, be entrepreneurial. So our goal is to give them tasks that we need to be able to deliver to our customers. We give them a lot of flexibility. It's not what you would think a factory is, where you come in and somebody's telling you have to do so many parts. At APT, we all have jobs to do and we're all trying to do them, but we want them to be kind of own their job and have fun doing it the way they want to do it.
So Mick, all we're going to do is place this raw piece of material, we're going to place it in the vise, okay? So all you have to do is put it in here, push it over to the stop.
Okay.
And then tighten the vise up.
Okay. I can do that. How tight?
Don't step on it, that's good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to run this top half.
Okay. What are we making?
We are making this.
Okay.
So when we get the top half done, we're going to flip this over and we're going to do the second half.
What's this for?
It's for a swivel link.
Okay.
It's for end of arm tooling for cameras, lights, stuff like that. So now we're going to shut the door and we're going to hit go.
Everything computer's already set up to do everything you need to do.
So if you sit there and if you watch it, all the tools are going to be doing what they got to do. Then at the end of the cycle, so right now we're only running one part, but once we flip it over, we're going to have both vices going, and it's going to go from one to the other. It's a pretty simple process, just placing a plate in a vise, but there's a little more to it than that.
Well, I would say that's probably the biggest thing is the computerization. Making sure it's all set up to do the right part, the right thing, the right...
Yep. I mean, it looks real easy to just put a part in a vise and crank it down, and that is easy. But the main focus is the CNC part, understanding, knowing how to read the prints, knowing how to measure the part. There's a lot to go into it. It's not just standing here watching it run. It's aluminum. It's pretty stable. You don't have much tool wear on it, so I'm pretty confident that that'll run all day.
Harder pieces of metal would be a little bit different because you got to make sure they're sharp.
Yep, because they will dull the tool more. Like I said, this is aluminum. It's a pretty soft metal. Okay, now we're going to blow this off. Okay, now loosen up this vise. Okay, take this part and flip it just like that.
Okay.
And then place it up against that stop. Yep, just like that. Okay, now make sure, yep. Okay, open it up, there you go. Now make sure, yep. Okay, now take a raw piece and put it in this side.
And does it matter which way on the raw piece?
Not really. Okay, now shut your door. And then push the green button. Okay, now this one's going again. Now we're running 2 cycles. Now we're running both complete parts. These pieces here are being produced over on that lathe right there. And so we'll complete them on that process and we'll bring them over here, and all we'll do is just place them in these slots.
Is this
in these
what
drawers.
they're doing? This machine's doing?
Yes, yes. So that machine is making that part right there. And this is a full part. That's a half, that's a top and a bottom. Yeah, that one goes on that side. So this machine runs unattended for the most part. Okay. All we have to do is keep track of the drawers and replenish them after they get done.
And again, how long is the cycle to do this?
That's about a 5-minute cycle on this one too. It takes about a half hour each drawer to complete.
And every drawer is filled with the exact same part?
Yes, the exact same part, exact number, because these robots are programmed. And it's got to know where to go get it.
Right.
So it's just like anything else with a computer. It's got to know where to go get it, your O drive or whatever drive you're doing. So the robot comes in, it's programmed to pick up and drop off those parts from here and there. with these is we blow these off. Yep. So we're going to take all of these and blow them off and put them somewhere we can work with them.
What are you doing with them next?
What we do with them next is you got a little bit of a ring we got to get off, and we chamfer both ends.
Okay.
So what we're going to do,
You put this on before you...
nope, start it up. There you go. Now just jam it on. There you go. Now flip it over. Hit the other side. Yep. Put this up here where you know it, and then do the other two.
Is it only got that on one side?
Yep.
Generally?
Yep. That's the cutoff side. So these parts are done. They're going to go out now. They'll get sent out for anodizing. Be blue or gray, whatever color it is.
Yeah, so the work that Mick was just learning about is to make these parts. He was putting them in the mill to do all the milling on the machine part. Those then go out to anodize, and they get blue anodize. And then this system here will actually etch the Swivel Link logo on, as well as the distributor logo for the distributor that's going to sell it to the end customer. Right now we do that by hand, but we're building a system where the robot will do the parts for us. And similar to the robots that were on the other side, you'll end up with about 30 minutes of runtime or so. So there's still somebody in here that's loading, they're unloading, they're doing quality checks, as well as assembling other parts that we need assembled throughout the day.
In the past, I was a janitor. I just clean up everybody's mess that they would make, and today I get to make some of that mess. I've sat behind a desk most of my adult life, so I really have zero experience in terms of manufacturing and running parts and pieces. But they had me doing some finishing touches to some parts out here, and it was different for me because I'm not accustomed to doing that kind of stuff. But it didn't take long for me to figure it out, and I got into a little bit of a groove running 3 different machines, so I enjoyed it. Well, one of the things about this place is, number one, it's a family-owned place. They're Christian people, which I find to be very important. I wasn't sure what to wear today, so I ended up wearing this white shirt, and I'm in an air-conditioned building running a machine, and I didn't get dirty. I'm perfectly clean. It's a friendly environment, air-conditioned environment, and a clean environment. So I think it'd be a great place to work.
We build robot systems for industry, so they're doing work for what a person used to be doing. So now the person can spend their time programming the robot and working multiple robots at once. So we build those systems here, but then we also build training systems for education institutions here. It's going to be very similar to this. It's going to have fencing and guarding. It's probably going to have a PLC, but it's just for instructional purposes where they can learn how to program it and operate it and get familiar with it. It's going to go to vocational school or a community college or even a 4-year degree program. We always have openings. So the thing for APT is you might see a person like what you saw Mick doing where they're loading a machine. That seems really simple. But at APT, they're not just loading the machine, they're actually programming it, they're setting it up, they're building fixtures to hold it the right way. So they have to be trained, they have to understand what that machine is doing, they have to get trained on how to program it. The same thing over here, they have to understand how to read assembly prints, how to put stuff together, they have to understand how to program robots. So we're constantly training because we're building those systems that other people are using to do work.